Now it is my pleasure to present Banah Ghadbian, who will deliver the valedictorian address to the class of 2015.
So, what made you decide to come to Spelman? It was a question I encountered throughout my matriculation at Spelman. And as I stand here, humbled, honored to be in the presence of my brilliant and beautiful Spelman sisters, I ask each one of us to reflect in this moment. What brought you here? Who brought you here? How did this day become possible for you? It is a question people ask to learn about my story. In celebration of our stories and our communities who brought us here, I will share with you how I came to be at Spelman. I am a product of displacement from my homeland. I come from Syria, a country known today for having the largest refugee crisis in the world, ISIS militants, and the extreme violence of a civil war. My family's story is rooted in the long-standing resistance of Syrian people against structural violence. Despite media frenzy about the threats of ISIS, many do not know that the roots of the conflict in Syria date far before the present day. My family was displaced for speaking out against a government that has outlawed freedom of speech since 1963. The power of words and the power of education means a lot to our communities because we are systematically punished by the government for speaking out through imprisonment, torture, and death. My mother's family has revolutionary roots, migrating from Algeria to Syria after leading resistance against French colonialism. She had to leave Syria because her family feared that speaking out would harm her and her siblings. My father was forced to leave for speaking words that were not supposed to be said. My family ended up settling in the US South, in Arkansas, a state known for its mixture of Southern hospitality and hostility toward people of color. Right before I came to Spelman, an uprising in Syria broke out, and for the first time since my family had left, the thought of liberation in our home country became possible. Protesters were flooding the streets, demanding freedom and justice. They were met with live bullets from government forces. The summer before I came to Spelman, I decided to make a YouTube video in solidarity with the protesters of Syria, and I uploaded it to YouTube from my living room in Arkansas. My brave mother decided to reach across the diaspora and raise money for Syrian refugees on the Turkish border. She and I traveled there together and joined other women activists gathering underwear and socks for refugee children. I met Syrian refugees and activists who witnessed unspeakable violence. We began to notice suspicious people following us and recording our conversations. It turned out regime agents from Syria recognized my face from my YouTube video. My uncle became friends with the group of smugglers on the border of Syria, near the refugee camps. One night, we were chatting casually with his smuggler friends and he took me aside and told me they had commands to kidnap my mother and I. We were wanted for 50 million Syrian liras, the equivalent of 1 million US dollars. They wanted that YouTube girl to be sent to regime prisons notorious for killing and torturing activists who dare speak out. With the threat of this ransom looming over us, we fled and joined Syrians elsewhere who were planning civil resistance. A few days later, I packed my bags, came to Atlanta, put on my white dress and wobbly heels, and started my first semester at the illustrious Spelman College. I came to Spelman with an acute awareness of the power of words to start revolutions. I came to Spelman happy to be alive. I came searching for the tools I needed to change the world. I loved its commitment to positive social change and its focus on empowering women of color, women of African descent, to make a difference. I knew a place made for women of the African diaspora could understand the intersections of race, class, gender, and the need for an education that reflects those complexities. The first thing I noticed about Spelman was the comprehensive level of support at our institution. I am grateful for the women who cleaned our residence halls, for the people taking out the trash and tending to the grounds, surrounding us with lush and green things, and the people cooking our food despite our complaints. I am grateful for Spelman's public safety officers diligently caring for our security and watching out just in case any suspicious-looking government agents came looking for me. The administrative staff, the people in every nook and cranny facilitating daily life at Spelman. Most of all, I am grateful for my professors who cultivated my love for learning. I found a home in the Women's Center, the Sociology Department, and the Social Justice Fellows Program because they empowered me to ask difficult questions. My mentors encouraged me to dream big. Thank you, Beverly Guy Sheftal, Mbahati Kaumba, Cynthia Neal Spence, Mona Phillips, Opal Moore, Pushpa Parek, Dana Pride Jones, Holly Smith, Alexandria Barabin, just to name a few. I couldn't have done it without you. I found an amazingly supportive group of friends, and we nurtured each other through difficult things. My best friend, Mamasa, a Gambian American, who would pound spices in the background of our hours-long phone conversations about our lives as immigrants' daughters. My best friend, Brianna, who survived homelessness and threats to her health, all while founding and leading her own nonprofit working to eradicate poverty and sexual violence in Ghana. My best friend, Amani, who facilitates healing circles for women of color and amazes me each day with her brilliant and beautiful poetry and wisdom. And my best friend, Asha, who entered with our class, but graduated last year. She's with us in spirit. I relish in the rich diversity of Spelman women, the different cultural backgrounds, religions, sexualities, languages, code switching we have mastered. I feel that an individual's accomplishments are a reflection of the community which has nurtured her. Whether it was Ms. Connie making me honey and lemon water when she noticed I lost my voice, a public safety officer going out of his way to make sure I made it home safe, my Tony Cade Bombera scholar, writer, activist, collective sisters helping me write this speech, Spelman flying out my best friend's grandmother when we thought she might not make it, Dr. Kuumba calling to check in on me and lending me books for my thesis, boundless emotional forces make me feel like Spelman is my second family. I was blessed to receive support from the Mellon Mays Foundation, which enabled me to travel from South Africa to Tunisia, to Morocco, to Spain, to Jordan, to Germany, to the UK, to a hopefully one day free Palestine, to Puerto Rico, all in a year. I encountered challenges and extremely difficult moments, what one of my mentors, Dr. Spence, calls teachable moments. I learned about the sacrifices you make in college: money, sleep, your mental health. As higher education becomes increasingly more inaccessible to women of color, it is imperative we recognize the benefits of support and of community, and the necessity of historically Black colleges to continue to be supported. I think about our Spelman sisters who didn't make it with us, not because they didn't work hard, but because the structures of support were not in place to hold them. We pray that the system will get better. As I enter a PhD program in the fall, I remember why I came to Spelman: for a degree, for a one-of-a-kind experience, for academic excellence and a high quality of education. But reality often exceeds our expectations in ways we could have never imagined. At Spelman, I came for an education, but I received a lifetime of support. I found grace. I found sisterhood. I found love. I found a place that is shaping the future, committed to showing the world that we matter. I found relentless joy. I found the memories of women past and the reminders they left us to be great. I invoke every powerful woman who has helped me get to this point. I celebrate the community we have now become a part of. And as we celebrate, I remember the famous June Jordan quote: "We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the class who is changing the world, who have accomplished phenomenal things. And for that, I am eternally grateful for everyone who has made this journey possible. Today, I invoke the spirits of everyone who has come before us, everyone who has sacrificed so that we could be here today, everyone whose labors of love enabled us to succeed. Thank you."